So this morning we're going to be planting up some sweet peas that we've propagated at home. It's got a bit cold now, now it's getting into November, to actually propagate sweet peas properly in the polytunnel. And so what we've done is we got a couple of these takeaway jars and we soaked all the peas in it for 24 hours and put them on some paper towels, and as you can see now they've all got little shoots in them. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be potting those on today into their pots, so we know that they've germinated and which ones have germinated properly, and they'll carry on doing fine inside the polytunnel now that they've germinated. So what we're going to be using is going to be using these. Now these are a bit small for sweet peas, so we will be potting these on. Primarily reason why we're using these is because I haven't set up the staging in the raised staging in the polytunnel yet, which means that we're still susceptible to slugs and mice and everything else. So we're going to be potting these up into these trays, and then they'll go in there, have a little protective lid on them. By the time they've actually grown up and they've reached the top of here and they've filled out the root bowl there, we'll be able to pot those on into some bigger pots, and hopefully by that time I'll have a solution for the staging in the polytunnel that will mean we can keep it away from the mice. So let's get a close up on this and get these potted up. So as I say, these are little trays. What we're going to do, I've mixed, this is our just general compost. I've put some perlite in it to just help with the drainage. In the spring when I'm doing some seedlings, I'll normally I would use some vermiculite because it helps retain a bit of moisture, whereas this perlite won't retain any moisture, but it will give the soil a bit more aeration. So I'm just going to firm that down in there. The good thing about these is you can actually see the roots inside them. This variety is a sweet pea night and day, which is sort of a purpley and white one. And then what we're going to do is very carefully we're going to take out a sprouting sweet pea and we're going to drop it into the cell, trying our best to be as gentle as possible so that we don't knock off or disturb those roots. And as you can see on these, so they've got their root coming out, and they've also got the root coming out, and they've also got their little growing shoot coming out as well. So I'm going to just drop those in, one into each cell, so we know that they're good and viable. You'll see there's a couple of seeds in this tray that haven't sprouted yet, but what we'll do is we'll leave those ones in there and see if they go. And then once we've done that, what I'm going to do is give them the very lightest covering of soil on top. Give it a gentle firm down, and then we'll get our tray, put those in there, put that lid on, and we'll give them a little bit of water when they go back in the polytunnel. So I'm going to get on and do the rest of these, and we've also got some sweet pea perfume promise ones to do as well. So I'm going to carry on and do this, and I'll show you when we've finished. Okay, so here we are. Good thing about these is they've got like little vents on there, so I can open and close the vents. So we'll lift these out, bottom water them, and then they can sit in here, get some labels in them, and they'll sit in there until we can sort out some raised staging to keep them away from the mice and the slugs. So that's the sweet peas put in. As I say, all we've done to make sure we've got germination is we've got one of those takeaway tubs. We've put the peas in there and left them in water for 24 hours. Then we drained off all the water, then just put some damp kitchen towel in there and just leave them in there with another piece of damp kitchen towel over the top. And then it takes then from about sort of 24 to 48 hours until they start to sprout. And then once you've done that, you know that they're viable seeds, you know that they've germinated. And as I say, they'll carry on growing quite nicely here in the polytunnel. But I just have my doubts as to, with the temperature dropping so much in the evenings and it not getting as warm in the day, whether the initial germination would happen. So we've given them a little bit of a boost by getting them germinated. They can now grow on in the polytunnel, and as I say, and as they fill out those cells, we'll pop them on. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.